The next speaker is Huang. Before I introduce you to Ken, I just need to tell you something about the DAIA, which is the Decentralized AI Alliance. Earlier, we call it AIDA. It's literally through inception. You know, when you have a baby, you don't know what to call that baby. You're like, should I call him Oscar? Should I call him Harris? I have two babies. I call them Harris and Oscar. But if you have one baby, you can't decide what name. And so the name was AIDA for a reason to help push the AI Decentralized, that is an ACM initiative. But like I stated, AIDA is not an ACM. So that alliance is one thing, ACM is another. AI Decentralized will continue to progress and make it global through conferences across the globe. And AIDA was more like a name that is associated with that, but the actual name is DAIA. So I apologize for confusing the names of my baby. The next speaker here that I'm super excited to introduce you to, and I'm introducing to a lot of folks that happen to do business with. Again, this is not self-promotion. I just do business with a lot of people, and this is somebody that I met a couple years ago at the Cybersecurity Summit in China. There were 30,000 people. I was speaking in front of 5,400 people, and he was speaking there as well, and we kind of met. We were both the speakers, and speakers, they go through a nervous stage when they're sitting next to each other. They kind of become buddies, although they probably don't know each other, but then we truly became buddies afterwards. He was heading the blockchain for Huawei, one of the largest companies in the world. And shortly after, he decided to start his own company, and right now he's doing a lot of cool things. And the reason why I'm deviating from the introduction that I have here is because also we formed a baby with Ken, and it's called Security on Toda, which again, we're not going to talk about that today. We're focused on the mission. So he's the CEO and founder of Distributed Business Applications. He is a conference committee member of ACM Practitioners Board for Shenzhen. So, you know, he was literally one of the very first people that we reached out to. We have 11 folks across the globe, and we're going to have 25. So he's in Shenzhen. He would be running the AI Decentralized in Shenzhen on behalf of ACM. He is blockchain expert committee member of Chinese Institute of Electronics and distinguished researcher and lecturer of Big Data Blockchain and Regulatory Technology Laboratory and Red Chain Laboratory of Renmin University of China. Please help me welcome Huang.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Really, thank you, Tufi, for this great introduction. I'm here to talk about the smart contract security using AI. First of all, smart contract, when it was defined, there is a misleading annotation inside of the smart contract. First, it's not smart. Second, it's not a contract, right? So I think the way AI decentralized will work, we will make smart, really smart, by leveraging folks like Mind AI, which just deliver excellent speech, and also SingularityNet, and lots of other people who present here. So that is the smart part of it. And the contract part of it, I think that's really needs some regulatory help. The government, the state, I think certain states in USA already regulated that, say, smart contract is legal, binding, right? But eventually, I think leverage the AI and also the Oracle mechanism, we can really make smart contract smart and legal binding. Today, I'm not talking about that. I'm more talking about the security. So before jumping into the security, I would like to really talk about certain problems with the smart contract security. I think most of you have heard in 2016, there was a big security breach on the Ethereum ICO project called the DAO, the Decentralized Autonomous Organization, right? DAO. The reason why it has a problem, it has a code, really has 670 lines of code in the split door API. And that API has a recursive program. It was not very well written. The hacker was able to leverage the problem, cause what is called the re-entrance attack, was able to steal or withdraw about 50 million. It really, some people say it's 75 million. So it's from 50 million to 75 million US dollar. The consequence of this attack is the DAO project bankrupt, right? It's eventually didn't take off. And eventually, of course, SEC also did the examination, say it's a security token. And another consequence is cause the hard fork of Ethereum, right? Then you have ETH and ETH. So this is one of the problem. It's not stop there. There's some other problem. Maybe people heard of the parity multiple signature smart contract. It was written by a well-respected company called Parity, because the author or the founder of this company is Gavin Wood, who wrote the yellow paper for the Ethereum. It's very technical, but even though you are very technical, and also there's some securities firm auditing the code, still there is some security issues with that. Eventually, the money was stolen, $35 million. And of course, there's white hat guys to help to kind of withdraw some money from it to help the victims. And that not stop there, and then there's sixth multiple signature wallet problem. It's eventually caused the 150 million US dollar freeze. So, and then recently what is called the integer overflow, right, problem. It's once it's overflow, it's go back to zero. So like if you look at the line code 259, it's has a require, eventually it's always satisfied with a huge number, which is 256 long in terms of the number of the decimals, right, or integers. So those are, like, with that, you can really create a new money. So the key thing is with smart contract, that's usually you hold a lot of money, and once you deploy it, you cannot change it. And it's on the public chain. It's like honeypot. Everyone can take a look at this code, and including the hackers trying to hack the code. So this is the problem. And there's some best practice, because time is not permitting me to get the code. I just want to get to some key thing here is maybe we need a new approach, which is using the AI. So currently there is certain mechanism to defeat or kind of deal with the smart contract security. One is a formal verification, right? But the problem with formal verification is it can only formal verify the syntax, not the semantics. And also there's crowdfunding or crowdsourcing to try to find the problem. But that's only usually on the deployment time. We need the runtime smart contract security. That's we have to leverage the AI. I think the Tufi has mentioned that we have a baby. This baby is a security on Toda, right? That's what we're trying to do. Is one of such project is one is the spam detection, right? Spam email. Another, I think we should really focus on is smart contract security. So I think I still have few seconds remaining. Maybe can answer one question, okay? If possible. I'm looking at the Tufi. Anyone has questions? Okay. Oh, nice. Water cup.
All right. How does the thing work?
Don't start playing soccer.
So the question is, wouldn't it just help to not make smart contracts Turing complete? Like if you had them more like an XML kind of language that's declarative and doesn't allow complete Turing execution of code, wouldn't that be a way to go about it?
I trying to understand your question. So your question is during the runtime?
Yeah, the Solidity, for instance, is a Turing-complete language.
That's right.
So you can do anything with it. Now, if you would make it more like an XML declarative kind of language, which doesn't really allow to completely execute code, but just is broken down to do certain tasks and like not allow it to loop, for instance.
Yeah, the reason why Bitcoin was quite secure, it's using BitScript, it's not Turing complete, right? So it's has a less problem. Yeah, the problem with the Turing complete, you have lots of complex logic. Eventually, it could cause some security vulnerabilities. There is a different way. There's some company working on like the template, like you just have a smart contract template, and
Right.
Although the underlying is still Turing complete VM, but you can only learn the code which is on the template. That's one way of deal with it. Okay?
Yep, perfect.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken. One of the stories that I'd like to share with you that Ken took me on a road trip in China from one city to the next that I was speaking at different events. One of the events was after Shanghai, and it was in a city in like literally a rural China. It's called Jinhua, somewhere very, very far. But in order to make it attractive, he got a bunch of speakers in a bus that is supposed to be one of those super duper VIP buses. And we got on the bus, and it's like a bunch of dudes, 5 of us. And he said, oh, you know, I said 2 hours. It's actually going to take like 6. We got on the road and arrived to this hotel at the end of nowhere, which I said that story yesterday. When we arrived there, literally we were all kind of scared because it's like the first time we get there. Took the map through VPN, another VPN, because Google is not allowed over there. But I was able to get Google Map to work somehow. Got my location on the map and sent a picture of it to my brother, who's right here. Daniel, stand up, please. And he came to visit, and I told him, if this is the last time you hear from me, this is where I was last. But it turns out to be super safe. Spent a phenomenal day at the Jinhua University with a bunch of their PhDs and academics, and spent a great time there.